Hello, we are Javon, Scott, and Josh from Remsel, Rocky Mountain School of Extraordinary Learning, and we are interviewing Fatima, who is a Muslim American. Our first question is, what is your full name, age, occupation, family, and a brief summary of who you are?
My name is Fatima Shorten. I'm 22, and my occupation, I'm a student. I do taxes sometimes, and right now I babysit on the regular, so that's what I do. I was born here, and I was born in Dallas, Texas, and I've never been anywhere else. And yeah, that's a brief summary.
Okay, so the next question is, where were you during 9/11, and what were your first thoughts about hearing about it?
I think I was in 6th grade, and we were all in class, and at the time, I was going to a Islamic private school in Kansas City, Missouri. And so it was a very small school. So when this happened, the president came to all our classes, and he told us that it'd probably be a hard time for us because beforehand the Oklahoma bombing had happened. And so during that time it was really hard on Muslims, and everyone looked towards that way. And of course it came out that it was a weird white Christian dude that was the one who did it. But at that time, so that's why everything that had happened, people were paranoid. Like, some girls were taking off their scarves. You couldn't go out at night because it was dangerous. Hate crimes raised up. So it wasn't a good time. It was a scary time, and it was a sad time, definitely.
Okay, and what would have been a typical day before 9/11, and did your daily routine change after 9/11?
It changed a bit because, I mean, at the time I was super young, so I probably didn't have a good grasp on everything that was going on. But I remember at the masjid, which is, where we pray, we had to have security, and everyone was warned to not go out at night, to not go alone, to be in groups. And we lived in it was a pretty tight-knit Muslim community, so it definitely affected routines. And some people were really paranoid, and some people were really trying to blend in and shave their beards and stuff like that. So that was pretty weird.
Okay. How have you seen American attitude change in general after 9/11?
I think the big thing is the overtly acceptable prejudice that we have now. Now that it's not, you can't say nigga now, but you can make jokes referencing bombings and go back to your country and stuff like that. That's okay now. We've moved past that, acceptability. But the media and how it paints Islam, it really allows people, because if you just watch CNN and you don't know any Muslims, I really can't blame you if you have a weird prejudice. I probably would be very prejudiced. I would be like, oh, look at her, But I don't have that ability because I'm Muslim. But if I wasn't Muslim and I didn't know my father, and then I didn't know his friends and my family, then I could have these kind of notions. But I think after 9/11, it just became a new prejudice to happen, and a new overtly acceptable prejudice.
Okay. How have you been discriminated against, and how did it make you feel?
Let's see. I guess I can throw some story. So not too long ago, we were doing this event downtown. We were doing this thing where we passed out roses. And, it was just a big group of Muslims downtown on 16th Street Mall. Just passing out red roses, with little messages, peace. So it's really nice. So we were passing them out, and one of the girls that was passing them out, she came back and told us that an army guy was like, I used to bomb you. Just in the street. And she's like 14 years old, and I didn't get it. I didn't understand how that was acceptable. How no one would think to say, "Hey, that's weird. Stop talking like that," or "That's crazy," and that's just okay to say that to a young girl because she's Muslim, because she's covering like this. And I think it was really powerful because he was supposed to be an example of heroicness. You know, like, really? That's heroic? Because he goes over there and he has a gun in his hand now, and he thinks now he can come back and have these ideas about people that's just living their lives and passing out roses. So I think that's a good one. Or one time I was doing taxes, and this army guy, he had just came back. And he was just, I'm doing his taxes, and he's like, and he looked at me with this look in his eyes, and he said, he told me, "I'm not a nice guy over there." And I was like, and I don't know, in that small statement, I think it said a lot. He was like, they don't have a uniform, so you don't, you never know who's going to come up on you. And that's a scary situation to be in, really. And so I thought that was weird. And I was all alone. And I was kind of like, if I met this guy in the dark, I don't know, I don't know how I'd feel about that.
Do you feel it is morally acceptable to discriminate against a group of people to ensure the security of a country?
No. I think because it's a slippery slope, and it's like, where do you stop with that? Where, like, how do I explain that? So do we start, getting concentration camps and putting all the Muslims in there like the Japanese? Because, are we that far removed from history that we forgot? We've forgotten our history, I'm American just like everyone else, so I remember, and I know, and I've read. So, do we stop Muslims from getting jobs? Do we know who the enemy is? Is it me? Is it Fatima, who just goes to school and goes to work sometimes? Is it Ahmed, who's a Pakistani immigrant? Is it, who is it that we're putting in these boxes? And who gets to make these rules on what's acceptable or not? And I think we have to remember what this country was built on. We have to remember religious freedom. We have to remember why we came here in the first place. And I think that's ridiculous, actually.
Okay. Do you feel your liberty has been jeopardized for the security of America?
I just think it's jeopardized in a way of how we live now with the media and how it colors Islam, not a group of people, not a political party, Islam as a whole religion. And when you do something like that, it causes people to have, weird ideas. I mean, people have said that's the cult of the devil. And, I mean, people are always looking something to be crazy about throughout time. People just want to be crazy. Honestly, they do. So this is just another way, something else, to be, like, fanatical about. And I think it compromised my liberty, I guess if I want to use that word, by putting this coloring of the media so negatively, like, and it's just I think it's crazy. I don't know any of these people. I don't have any connection with the Taliban. I don't know what they're doing, what they like, who they are. They're not my cousins. I've never seen them. So it just makes me like, why do I have to have some kind of connection with them? Because they say La ilaha illallah and I say the same thing? No. Just because we're both Muslim? Maybe. I don't know. So, yeah.
All right. How have you moved on from any discrimination toward you?
It's not more moved on. It's more accept human nature. because it's every day. It's how people look at me when I walk in a classroom. It's in how I have to show, make a common joke to show I'm just like you. That I have to prove that I'm American and I know all the songs and I know, the Pledge of Allegiance, and I have to play these little games to prove that I'm not crazy or that I'm not, oppressed or so many things. I think it's that, more accepting it.
Okay. Have you ever heard of, seen, or had any experience with racism toward an individual because of them being a Muslim American?
It's probably so many examples I can use, but a simple one is me finding a job, looking for a job. So I'm looking for a babysitting job because I was raised as the oldest of 12 kids, so I know the kids are second nature, right? So you put your picture up on the websites, and people just pass you. They don't trust you. There's a natural distrust of you. So it makes it very difficult to just go around and be normal. And it makes it a big complication.
Do you feel the September 11th terrorist attacks have affected Muslim Americans? Why or why not?
Yeah, I do. I think it's given Muslims this paranoia. For example, my father, I don't think he really wanted me to do this. He didn't. He was like, do people really want to know the truth? People, is that really smart? You don't know how people can twist your words and make you sound crazy. And so I think it's given us this overall paranoia of what's going to happen to us. And we want to be more quiet on our Islam instead of how we used to be. So.
Okay. And what is your opinion on the Patriot Act?
The Patriot Act. It's. I think it's leading us to a certain situation. I think it's it's allowing things to go unchecked, and I don't think people should be able to be put in jail without due process, and I don't think people should have their privacy just completely stripped, and I don't think that that's okay, and I think we're moving towards a future that's not as constitutional as we would like to say, and I think, it seems very, I don't know, could I say communist? It seems a little communistic, and I feel like as Americans and how we so staunch against that, like this, but we don't mind that, and we don't mind, we don't mind drone attacks, and we don't mind this, because that's all the good for the country. And I think it really says who we are and who we're going to become. So.
Okay. And how do you view yourself as a Muslim American, and how do you believe the public views you?
Well, I view myself as a super American. I mean, I was born here. I've never been to Mexico. I don't speak any other languages. I don't have any cool cultural foods, dances, special things. I'm African American. My parents were converts to Islam. So that means they wasn't raised Muslim, they were raised Christian, really Christian actually. My father, they thought he'd be a minister, but he grew up, and I think it just didn't make too much sense to him. So he started looking for other things, and he became Muslim, raised as Muslim. So, I just feel like when people see me, they assume foreign. So I always have to first work, hey, I'm not foreign, that's the first thing. They think, oh, she's oppressed, she covers, why would she cover? Why? And so they see it as oppression when it's very strange. So you see a Muslim, she's dressed all covered, and you say oppression. You see a nun, you say piousness. Oh, she's really religious and she's close to God. But me, I'm oppressed, and and I'm just ignorant. I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm just, a man has forced me. That's the funniest part. This man, I don't even know who this phantom man is. He's always pushing me down, forcing me to do stuff. I don't know him, but I do what I want to do. So that's kind of how I live. And I think the public views me in really, like, complete opposite of who I am. And I have to work so hard to show it. And people, they just don't buy it. They don't understand me.
Okay. How do you feel about violence and war?
Violence and war. I know war has been going on since the beginning of time. And every time a man gets, a possession, a piece of land, some other man wants to have it. And this has just been going on. And I'm not naive in the way where I'm saying, completely war is going to stop and everyone's going to love each other. I don't think that's going to happen. But I think war today is a completely different animal. Like, the business behind it is the weird thing. The money in it, the weapons, and the oil, and the underlining reasons why we go there. And I just think I would rather them say, hey, they have oil, we need it, than all this jabber-juke about random, they have weapons, or we're trying to help them, their government or something. I think that's why we're over there. We're helping the government because we know best and we get to make the rules for the whole world or something of the sort. I don't know. That's what CNN tells me. But my point is, I think it doesn't make too much sense, honestly. So.
Okay. How do you feel CNN has displayed Muslim Americans?
They've displayed us as maniacs, as extremists. Everyone. Every single Muslim in the world is on this one team. We've all came together, and we've decided that we hate America, and we just hate freedom. Oh, we hate it, and we just want Sharia law. Oh, they love bringing up Sharia. They love it, and that's our plan, is to invade the whole world. Even though that makes no logical sense, even though, I don't know, so many Muslims are American, and yeah, it's really negative. It's really negative.
Okay. All right, that's all the questions we have for you.
Yeah?
Thank you.
All right.
Any last words?
I would just say my last words is to make sure you have opinions based on facts. To make sure you remember that, read a book. Look at history. Look at, pop the History Channel on a little bit. Meet a Muslim. Talk to a Muslim. I don't know. Just make sure you make your opinions based on your experiences versus random sentences, like, pushed into your brain by television. So that's what I would say.
All right. Thank you.
All right.